Welcome back and thanks for staying. This is still Guide Review. Now, this whole week, one particular hashtag has taken over social media in a way we never anticipated, and that is the hashtag Fix the Country. Many have shared their views and opinions on this new campaign, but as to whether it's really going to get far and not fade away like most social media campaigns, we really can't tell. Rachel Jackson once said, and I quote, "Our youth are not failing the system. The system is rather failing our youth." Ironically, the very youth who are being treated the worst are the young people who are going to lead us out of this nightmare. It's sad that in this 21st century, we are being silenced, stripped of our positions at work, or in some cases, threatened when we speak up. And I'm asking our leaders, how long is this going to continue? Let me know what you think about this. Send your concerns and views to us on Facebook or Instagram at Daily Guide Network, or get personal with me on Instagram and Twitter at I am Mollis Brown. Now, I've been joined by some young persons who will be sharing their citations from the government when all of this is said and done. I have Miss Poverty Anaman, a research and policy executive with the Kandifo Institute, and Ridima Boachi, a social media analyst with the European Union mission. Ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome.
Thank you.
First of all, with what is happening, are you in or out? Let me start with you, Poverty.
Thank you, Sharon. Hello to your viewers. I wouldn't say I'm in the sense that I believe that this whole action is supposed to be a collective action, not a government thing. So for me, my perception is 70% should be from the citizens and then 30% government. So we should work together with the government as a team to develop our country.
Okay.
And so I am not in at all.
You are not in favor of
Not
this
in
at all.
favor,
Do
no.
you see it as a waste of time?
Not a waste of time, but I think, well, it is a stepping stone to, seeing to it that we put certain measures in place. We need to check our attitudes. What are we doing wrong? What are we doing right? See to it that we come across, certain setbacks, fix them, and then help government bring out its goals. That's it for me.
All right. Ridima, let me hear from you.
Well, I'm all in, and I've been an advocate for better governance.
Okay.
I believe that when things have to go right, it has to start from the top. And if you look at other countries, you'd see that because they know that the citizens are, in quotes, gullible, and governance is all about leadership, and when you are leading, it's assumed that the people you are leading do not know as much as you do. And so you get into leadership position to put in measures to control, how the people should behave. And so when you are there, what we are expecting you to do is to put in measures so that all of us can, come up, with you. So if this is not going right, then it means there's a leadership failure.
Wow.
And so we have to put all the blame at the doorstep of the leader. And that is why I am fully in support of the Fix the Country Now agenda. And again, I say this because I'm saying that we have given the power to fix this country to a group of people. And it is not an excuse, and will not take an excuse for anybody to come out and now say, we have to check ourselves first. How do we check ourselves? And when I walk on the streets and I see rubbish on the floor, I ask, is it the leaders who came to drop it here? No, it's the citizens.
It's the citizens.
And so advocates of fix your attitude would say that, yes, the citizens have to change their behavior before it reaches the top.
Clearly.
But I say, no. If policies are there to punish people, as it were, a deterrent, so that if we say, don't dump something here, if you dump it, this is what will happen, people will abide.
Okay.
And so you will not see people just dumping, because they know when they dump it, they will be caught. And I give you a special example. In Norway, for instance, there are special, roads for buses, and no private car dares pass, on that road. And so the citizens know it's a law.
Yeah.
And so if you mistakenly even take that road, you'll be fined. It's automatic. And so you see that everybody is just in their lane. And you think that, hey, this system is working. It's because of the law. So if there's a law there, And the implementation, of course, and we always say that apart from America, Ghana, has the best laws, but the implementation is the problem.
It's
We
a
have all the
problem.
laws, but the implementation. So if we have the system there that checks the attitudes of the people, people will be afraid to even break the law. You get it? And so when you see pollution everywhere, there's a law to check that. But the implementation, when you dump it, people should be punished. And when people are punished, the next time I want to drop something, they say, hey, do I have 5,000 to pay? Let me pick it up. And that is, so it's leadership that has to take the lead. And the implementation is also on the, at the doorstep of leadership. So that is what I think. And so the leaders must take responsibility and fix this country.
Indeed, indeed. Poverty, would you also agree that it's as a result of failed systems and structures?
Well,
You've been in this country all your life, I believe.
Yes.
Are you happy with the systems put in place?
Well, I'm okay with Ghana, but, like I said earlier, this is not the time to point fingers. What is the way forward? It's a call to action. So what do? We need, like he rightly said, and which I said earlier, we need to fix our attitudes. You can't just fold your arms and then expect government to do things for you. No, as a citizen, you should have a part to play in our development. And so I still stand by it. I don't think this protest that they intend embarking on the 9th is necessary. I don't think it is at all.
Okay. Now, let's try to break things down a bit. So the main concerns, the reasons why they are calling for action from our leaders, government officials. Let's look at our roads. The increase in fuel prices and transport fares, the rising level of unemployment, erratic power outages, exorbitant water bills, poor health system. Where exactly should they start from? Poverty.
Okay, so I'll take the roads.
Okay.
So yes.
They should start from the roads.
No, you want where they should start from?
Yes.
This is gonna be tough. But obviously they would have to start from somewhere.
Let's begin with the roads.
Let's begin with yes. So let's say so Ghana, we have good roads. Ghanaians are angry, venting on government that our roads are useless and causing so much.
Very deplorable state.
Yes, but then I think some works are being done on some roads. I don't think government would sit and then enjoy seeing its people, go through this frustration. No. But then you need, like I say, it comes back to our attitudes. Potholes don't come up on their own. As citizens, are we going through the right steps? Are we putting the right vehicles on the roads that have been constructed for us? People can heap their trucks with stones. They ply the roads and then some fall. They hit the roads and then we start developing these cracks on our roads. We are the cause of our own problem. We need to work on our attitudes. So I think the best thing would be to help government. Yes, they are giving us good roads. Let's help maintain those good roads because these very roads are what are going to give us our foods. In terms of agriculture, people are going to be able to transport foods from the rural areas into the urban areas. I mean, production is going to be smooth. Everything is going to be fit for all of us, and then our worries would go down. So we need to check on our attitudes.
It's good you actually mentioned the fact that the roads serve as a network for getting food. Now, if there's just one road network in a particular village to a town, and you're saying that specific roads needs to be made for trucks, for private vehicles, and whatnot, where does that put us?
I mean, the roads are there. All I'm saying is we need to be cautious of how we behave. You see, our behaviors tend to affect our environment in the sense that someone might go through some mining or whatever, and then it affects our climate. And then these heavy rainfalls and stuff like that come back to affect it's a cycle. We need to break that cycle. That's all. We need to break the cycle.
Okay.
The government has given you roads. Make sure you do the right things. I mean, people have trucks with leakage from their exhaust and all that. Chemical spillage on the road causes potholes. and other structural defects on our roads. So we need to be cautious about that. We need to fix our attitudes.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. You are going to be on our attitudes for today, but I'll come to that later. Redeemer, where do you think they should start from?
I have to, I disagree totally.
Actually, they're saying that our leaders are saying they are working. There's no denying the fact. We know you are working. We know you're out there. We see you out there doing the work. But according to them, COVID has marred the whole situation. Now, looking at our deplorable roads, looking at the rising level of unemployment, the poor health systems, you go to hospitals and there's always the no-bed syndrome. This situation was there before COVID reared its ugly head, mind you. But they're saying that because of COVID-19, we are facing economical challenges and crisis. We understand the world is sick, all thanks to a global pandemic. But they are saying that they are working on it. We understand, we agree they are working on it. But where exactly can they start from so that we all can be satisfied that indeed we are seeing you doing something, you're taking a step?
Yeah, thank you. And again, I continue by saying I disagree with my sister here when she keeps pointing, accusing fingers on the citizens. Now, how do citizens destroy roads? It goes back to structural leadership deficiency. And what we are saying is that if leadership does not put in strict measures to control, because it's a whole process from the awarding of contracts to implementation, to the construction of the roads, that is what actually affects the, output. If the road is quality, no matter what, even if you are using defective, vehicles, it's going to stand the test of time.
Yes.
And so I disagree with my sister when she says that because we are using defective vehicles. Mind you, who would stand up and have money? Have you seen Bill Gates, for example, using defective, vehicle? No, he has the money to buy it. So it's the economic crisis that you find yourself in, and then you look at your power, and then you go in for a vehicle that you can afford. And so we can't blame citizens for using defective roads and defective, vehicles, and then now go on to say that because of that, they are to be blamed for the roads, for the bad roads that we see. It's systematic. It's still leadership. If leadership puts in measures that will control corruption in the award of contracts, so that, we were here when Cecilia Marfo, there was a pop-up. Cecilia Marfo is a musician. There was a pop-up that she's a road contractor. Cecilia Marfo. We saw it on social media. Now she's a road contractor. Now this is somebody's a musician. And so imagine that person. And so if it is true, then we now begin to question, how did she become a contractor? Because she's not a contractor. She's not an engineer. So it means that somebody is doing her a favor and she has to settle that person. So if the road, constructing, let's say, a 50-kilometer road costs, let's say, $20 million, and she's been given that contract, she needs to settle the person who was able to, give her that contract. So give that person. Minister in charge of roads has to get his share. People, close to government who ensured that she was able to get a contract have to be, So at the end of the day, it's left with, let's say, $15 million. And now she also has to get her own, from it. And so at the end of the day, you see that it's left with $12 million for a road that should cost what? $20 million to implement. And so now you have to settle on cheap products, cheap, products, cheap labor. And so because you want to maximize your profit, then you have to, you begin to just do anything because now the money has reduced. The road should ordinarily cost 20. But because of the process of getting the contract alone, then you are forced to use materials that also maximize your profit because you're also a business person. And so they'll use it, and then once it rains or when heavy vehicles pass, and then we begin to, So we need to begin to put in the system. And that's why I said that if you go abroad, it's not magic. They have realized that human beings are corrupt, and so we need, and they themselves are also corrupt as leaders. So they put in measures, laws that will control as much as possible the human, manifestation of corruption at every process. So in the word of contract, they say, let's do it this way. Let's do it this way. And that's why we have the bidding process and all that. It's not for any reason. So that if government has a contract and we are saying, okay, we have a budget of 20 million, let's open it up for bidding, competitive bidding. We don't tell everybody it's 20 million, but we tell them, oh, come with your bid and let's see how much you can construct 50-kilometer road. Anybody who is able to bid close to our budget, we'll give him. Yes. But how do we see? People from the board leak information to they say that, hey, our budget is 20, so peg it at 20. Then they will come and get it. You see? So that's a problem.
Redeemer, do you have evidence to back this?
And that is what is happening. I mean, that's what we've seen from Manasseh's this thing, from contract for sale and all that. I mean,
you should be able to provide evidence.
Yes, Manasseh's this
Manasseh
thing.
is Manasseh. Let's talk about you and I. You are on guide review, yes, you're on DG.
Yes. So but what I'm saying are the realities of today's government. It's not about this government. It's what happens in politics. And so I'm just providing one side of the difficulties, that arise in the process and that lead to some of the challenges that we are seeing. Okay. So mine is not pointing, accusing fingers, but saying that let's put in structures. All the laws are there, but let's put in structures that will ensure that when people are caught trying to, bend the rules, they'll be punished so that to serve as a deterrent to others. So that next time somebody wants to do something like that, you look at, the punishment that was meted and say, no, I don't want to publicly disgrace like that. I don't want this, so I'll do the right thing. I think that is what can guide us as we are going.
And looking at these alien structures, would you blame the certain government for it or previous government?
No, it starts from when Ghana gained independence. And so, government is a continuum.
From Nkrumah's time?
Yes, from Nkrumah's time.
So you blame Nkrumah?
Yes, so we can trace it to Nkrumah's time and then trace it. Yes, we can't blame just previous government, because if we are blaming previous government, then
of course,
he also took over,
Of course.
But somebody must stamp his feet and say that the right thing should be done. You get it?
Yes, I do.
I've come to meet this, but I need to make sure that this goes on. The right thing is done. And I think that is what we need now. And that is why the youth of today, who form more than 50% of this country, are saying, well, we are seeing that most of our leaders are old. And so it seems they don't have anything to lose.
So they should pave the way for more young people.
Yes.
To
so
take up
if
the
me,
space.
Redeemer, for instance, imagine I am the president of Ghana. I'm just 26, let's say.
Congratulations.
And so I know that, okay, I can rule Ghana for 8 years. Then, by then, I'll be like 34. I still have like 70 years, or let's say 50 years to live in Ghana. So which system do I want to see after my tenure? You get it? So I'll make sure that I do things so that because I know that after 8 years, I will not be president again. I'll become an ordinary citizen. And so what system do I want to live in as I leave office? But if you have somebody who's 80 years as president, or a leader, or leaders, and I'm not attacking anybody, I'm not pointing, I'm just, making a distance so that we understand the issues.
Yes.
If we have somebody who's 80 years, who is going to die in 10 years or 20 years' time, what does he have to lose? You see? So, and that is where the youth are coming from. And that's why they're angry. Because there are no opportunities. The system is not working. You finish school and you don't have anything to do.
You don't have a job.
So they are saying, no, please, we beg you, fix the country for us. Because we gave you the opportunity. We gave you the power.
Yes.
Use it.
Yes. And still on this fix the country agenda, the same youth who are complaining, they were the ones who actually voted for the sitting government. I mean, obviously, they must have seen something or trusted them well enough, because they are in their second term, I believe. Yes, indeed, they are in their second term. So they saw something, meaning I don't think they should really make a big issue out of this by going out there too much. Poverty, let me hear from you.
Well, I believe that this whole issue, this is not the first time this is happening. We've seen this in many governments.
Yes.
There's no need pointing fingers at the incumbent government now. I think that if you look back, I think back in the Kufuor administration, his vice president, Aliyu Mahama,
yes, may his soul rest in peace,
implemented this. He had this agenda. He launched a campaign against indiscipline at workplaces, on our roads, in schools, and society in general. But then unfortunately, that vision died after a while. Why? Because there was a change in government. I am not pointing fingers at any government, but I'm just trying to say that. But I'm just trying to say that if at that time, just look at the years that have passed by, that's about 13 years. If at that time, stakeholders had supported this agenda, I am sure Ghana would have been a better Ghana, the better Ghana that we are all looking for by now. We wouldn't have the youth coming to government to say, oh, we're going to go on a protest on the night. No. So, I mean, it's unfortunate that we are in this situation, but then I believe that the leadership of His Excellency President Akufo-Addo is quite commendable. I believe that the leaders are doing their very best.
Yes, you mean to say they are trying?
They are doing their best.
Okay.
I support them fully, and I am hopeful that things will change. How do things change? They don't just change on their own. I mean, the citizens must also play a role. Exactly. Okay. So I still stand by. I'm not pointing fingers at any citizen like my brother is saying.
No.
I'm just saying that let's all have the collective mandate to change our Ghana into a better Ghana for us all.
Nidima, let me hear from you.
Yeah, on that note, I comment your last words, and I put it to you that, and also make the point that marching and calling the government to face Ghana is part of the collective effort to build Ghana. I mean, if we are all saying, let's build Ghana, I think it's in the right direction. And if it's done in our own interest. And so, of course, we cannot point accusing fingers. In Muhammad's time, if we want to do comparative analysis, we were complaining about these same things.
We did.
Don't saw in the rest. Unemployment.
Yes, we all
you
did.
know, and corruption, and you know what have you.
So we don't really get to exactly where all of this began.
So it's not new. We can only begin to, hold people to their words. The current president came as an incorruptible president. And promised us, we had hope in him. And as you rightly said, the youth voted for him.
Yes.
And so it means that we have hope. And we have high expectations of him.
We do.
And so, to whom much is given, much is expected. And that is what we are witnessing. We need more. And we believe that he can deliver more. And that's why we are asking him to do more. It's not anti or antagonistic anything. It's just that we believe that he can do more than he's doing.
Okay.
And so, pleading and also putting pressure would also try to push him to deliver, to push him to the wall, because we know what he can do. And so he should deliver what he promised, which he can do. He has the power to do.
Indeed. And it doesn't end with just him. It ends with his other executives as well. But then we'll get into that right after this break. Please stay.